Welcome to the Soulscape show, where together we will explore and discover the depth and breadth of your soul for your evolution to higher consciousness. This is a very special show with your host and today's speaker, Gabrielle Spencer. Gabrielle Spencer is known for conscious creation for old souls. She's a soul healer connecting with the void energy for multidimensional consciousness healing. She is a multidimensional intuitive channel and channels the golden beings of light and higher vibrational beings in her healing sessions as an inspirational speaker, author, and practical spiritualist who assists you to raise your vibration to reclaim your inner power, spiritual gifts, and abilities. Gabrielle shares next-level spiritual tools, clearings, and activations to unite your heart, mind, spirit, and soul to allow you to awaken and manifest your soul's highest destiny. Today, we will be discussing revealing your divine truth and trust by healing your soul connection. Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining me. This is Gabrielle Spencer, your host and your speaker for tonight on the Soulscape show. I thank you for being here because together we're going to go through some really amazing information that is coming through and some activations and clearings as well to assist each one of us to awaken and assimilate what we are meant to. What's really come through for me lately is divine truth. It's a really interesting topic and really important right now because as so much is bombarding us all around, it is so important to tap within ourselves, and getting out of fear is really hard when all of our stability, what we've known as stability, our homes, our jobs, food, the general basic stuff. You know, we talked for many years about Maslow's hierarchy of needs and how that correlates to the scale of consciousness, and how within the scale of consciousness, those frequencies of 0 to 200 are the frequencies of stability, basically. It's fear, right? Those are the fear-based frequencies. But what gets triggered in those is the stress and the anxiety and the worry, and all of those things get triggered. And so this is giving us an opportunity to go deeper. And it's not so much just about the stress and the worry. If I may, I'd like to share a small story. I love stories, and my family makes fantastic material because they are so diverse and everybody has their own needs and wants. And here is what I know for us, even as we too are going through the same issues, right? Losing jobs and income, and my children are all home from school. And, you know, suddenly you're trying to figure out how to support your family as well as create income for yourself, right? And be able to support your family. And that gets very stressful. So for me, I have allergies, just so y'all know. I don't have the COVID, thank you. Very healthy otherwise, but it is total spring/summer here in Florida. So it's kind of crazy. Anyway, so I want to get to the soul reading. So here's the story, right? So what I'm doing in my own life and with my children and my husband is all of us every night are connecting and expanding that energy that's coming in and into our hearts and out into the world, and seeing for ourselves that we come through this with ease and grace. Now, that's different for everybody, what that means. And we're going to talk a little bit more about it because I want to get to all that I want to be able to offer tonight. So when we are talking about divine truth, I want everyone just to close your eyes. This is so important because all of this that we're talking about that's coming in, this energy of disruption, and it's causing us to struggle and to feel unstable, and us connecting with this energy of stability, you have to shift it. And the shift is that light is the stability, that it shows you through your own knowing and intuition what step you need to take next, right? And it doesn't mean that it's all going to be perfect immediately, but your higher self, highest self, has the sight. Now, there are many things that have been coming through that we're also developing another level of sight, that our sight is not third eye anymore. It's a multidimensional eye, multidimensional sight. So there's a difference. There's an up-leveling in what it is that we need to be able to see through the illusions that are being created. So if you know me, you know that I am a practical spiritualist, which means I understand that we live in the real world, in the 3D world, and we are still here. Our energetics are all around and multidimensional, but we still have an aspect of our physical self here in this world. And honoring that part as we merge our physical self and our higher selves and our light bodies all together. That's what is important for all of us to be able to do. And that's what we're working on with our ascension energy. So this tonight is about what role you are meant to play, not just in this moment, but this is our catalyst, right? It is assisting all of us to dig deeper, to go within ourselves, to find that stability connection of light, so that you're not just saying, I feel like it's going to be okay, or I hope it's going to be okay, but that within you, you really know it, because you know you're going to get the information that you need for what's in your highest and best good. And also for you to have the understanding that you need for the perspective. There's something very interesting. I was speaking with a beautiful lady the other day. She was explaining to me how through her spiritual practice, she knows that she would be protected and that she will be okay. And as she was speaking, what came in was, here's the thing, we all have our perception of what that means. So what is your perception? What does that look like for you? And is that in alignment with your soul, with what your soul wants for you? Because sometimes, I'm going to just say it, sometimes leaving this earth plane is in your highest and best, or another person's highest and best. It is what is meant for them. It might allow them to reincarnate faster or come in having their gifts already intact, and it might be a faster way for them to do it than to start at the beginning, right? So it's our perspective of what that means for us. And so for each one of us, we want very much to be in alignment with divine truth, because then it's less scary. When you have that knowingness from within as to what is happening out here, you can still take in what's happening out here. And I'm a really big advocate of being aware of what all sides and all levels and all layers are up to in the collective. We're not the only ones working to shift the consciousness of humanity. So there are real energetic battles going on for the soul of each one of us. And instead of feeling fearful, it's about, again, expanding your own light so that you too can know and feel confident that even though it looks pretty awful, that you are taking the physical steps that you need to take to stabilize and to be able to call in opportunities. And a lot of times, and especially here now, it's our light that is going to make the difference.
totally. Okay? It's being able to know beforehand when something is coming, to know and listen to the inklings that are coming and act on it, even if nothing else seems to be going the way you need it to or want it to. So it might mean that you buy yourself a freeze dryer because you're thinking, okay, I just need that. And then you create the opportunity to bring that. For people who have lost their jobs, okay, so now we need income to come in. So provide us the inspiration. What is it that you can do that will bring in income? And it means for a lot of us, we are getting to step out of our comfort zone, right? Or what we know and what we thought was stable. This time is not to make us struggle, but it is to push us into alignment. Everybody. So it's pick a side time in a way. I always see it. I always think to myself of games. If you know me well, you know I always equate things in a way to video games. We are picking a side, and our side is the light. That's why all of you are here. It's about tapping in and finding what it is that is keeping you from having that stability from within yourself, knowing for real and true that you know what's going on inside and you're connected with it fully. And even if it doesn't make sense to you, which many times it doesn't, that's the truth, that you still know it's something that you need to do, and you're going to then start calling in the opportunities, the people, and the potentials to make that happen so that you're going to follow through with it. And sometimes we have to commit, most of the time, right? We have to commit to actually doing it before all the rest works itself out, because that's how the universal energy works. It supports you. You have to take the step forward and commit and show the universe that you're committing. So for each one of us, it's saying, okay, so this has moved out. This is no longer viable for me. So universe, what is next? Show me what is next. And I am listening because I have cleared divine truth, divine trust, big one, very big one. Right now, we're all being pushed to see, do you really trust the universe? Do you really trust that the universe has your back? Do you really feel inside and know unequivocally that you are loved? And what that means as you raise your vibration continually evolves. What does that mean? I am loved. I love myself. You are an aspect of God. You are an aspect of your soul. How does that feel to you inside? What does that mean to you? These are really important questions right now because there's so much information from so many people, leaders of the light, all kinds. Everybody's got information out there about what this all means. I think it's really simple what it means. It really means that for each one of us, it's, you know, what we all laugh about, that spiritual 2x4, but it's more than that. It's getting ourselves into alignment, our physical, energetic selves with our soul, with the highest aspect of God, and performing and being that light that we're meant to be. And for each one of us, what our role is here. It's been really interesting to me to hear what's going on out there and to know that each one of us incarnated with our own role, what it is that we're meant to do. Now, for a long time, we all thought that that meant that that's where we were going to make our money, and some of us do. It also means, for me, on a higher multidimensional level, my soul lineage is mostly healer and being able to use energetics to create. Okay, that's my lineage. My husband's lineage is warrior, leader. And so he has a different mission during this time. And I have my mission at this time. And each one of us tapping into what is your role. That's your next question. What is my role? It isn't so much a job, but it doesn't mean you can't make money from it, if that makes sense. So for each one of you who are struggling right now and saying, okay, so I have this opportunity, right? My business has been taken away. and I'm no longer able to do that business. So what is it? How can I contribute? What is it that I am meant to provide, in addition to being the greatest beacon of light that I can be, sending my heart from my heart out into the heart of everyone on the planet, to all of us, the highest vibration of light possible, because everybody wants love. Everybody wants to feel needed and to be needed. And by us doing this, it fulfills an emptiness, which is what causes people to feel alone and abandoned, and to even, make themselves more vulnerable in many ways to other things not so lovely to happen to them, right? So we have a lot to think about. And I love the thinking side of spirituality, because believe it or not, it's necessary, because we still are operating in this arena that is our planet. And all that is happening, it is up to us to hold light, to be that light. I call it holding light, but it's being light, the highest vibration of light that you can be. And when yucky stuff happens, go within and take a moment to go into theta and to ask for light to fill you, every cell of your being, so that you can find and feel the stability, to own what you're feeling in the moment, and to allow the light to transmute that. So for a lot of you, you're going to go back to the basics. No matter how much I've learned and how much wisdom has been shared with me as I've tapped into people's souls, and your souls are amazing. I learned so much from you and what your souls know. It's just blows my mind. But for the summation, it comes down to a lot of what we already know. And so by going within and allowing that knowledge to come back to you in the moment that you need it, because we forget it too, that's when we go, oh my gosh, I know how to do that. And then the confusion goes away, and we're able to once again reinforce that we're connected. And every time that we reinforce that we are connected, we step out bigger than life itself. That's when we step out and say, oh my gosh, I've got this. So for me, a large part of what I feel is that we all continue to expand our hearts and to expand the amount of light that we are holding and generating and multiplying and sending out, to bring this current circumstance to its highest and best resolution for all. Okay, because the universe knows how to do that. And we have to remember to envelope everybody in golden light, including our planet, because there are more sides working at this than just us thinking, okay, well, it's a shift for consciousness of humanity. But again, in perspective and using that higher multidimensional understanding and seeing, as I was talking about earlier, that means many things to all different people, because everybody has a different role to play. And so we together as light workers bring our light and unify together and envelope this beautiful planet in a matrices of golden light, crystalline light, and assist everybody to find that stability from within. That is how we bring ourselves through this quickly, easily, with peace and joy and love, knowing that when something closes, we're going to get to move into something else that is going to serve us. And then by serving us, serve those around us, in our families, in our loved ones, in our communities as well, right? All right. So we're going to take I'm going to take Terry first, and then we'll get to the healings and the connecting for the soul readings, because what I have found and speak about a lot now is what I've always known, is that it starts with the heart and the healing of the multidimensional heart, the healing of the soul and connecting with the soul's consciousness and healing the soul's consciousness and the multidimensionality of your consciousness, so that you are freed of the heaviness, the pain, and the reminders. If you don't even know where they originated, you're just always feel like, well, that didn't work or this didn't work because it didn't actually release it. And the reason that it's not released, or you still have areas that feel, I call them glitches, so they still feel glitchy, but the reason is because the origin of the issue occurred in an existence that is stored within your multidimensionality. And so what happens is that when we move ourselves through that multidimensionality and we're able to bring back all aspects of ourself, our souls, and all that we have incarnated as, that's when we're able to then reconnect to our gifts, to who we really are, and to that fullness from within, that you are here for a purpose. You know it for sure, and you are willing to take the step each and every day to continue on that journey of discovering who it is and knowing within yourself, to get in within yourself what it is that you need. And by you fulfilling that, that then moves out, just because that's how vibration works. Think about the rock in the pond or the river or whatever, and it sends out the ripple effect. The ripple effect of each one of us having that stability, that column of light, which then branches out throughout your entire being, your entire energetic field, throughout your entire multidimensionality. When we are healing these origin events that are held within your soul's consciousness, then that's one area that gets smoothed out. It's no longer creating ripples and cycles that you are living over and over, okay? So what I know is this, Fran is asking, do I think people will be kinder to one another after we get through this virus? My answer to you is, I hope so. What we are attempting to do in this, what is the great consciousness shift? It's in finding the way for you to have that energetic stability, that knowingness that comes from being fully connected to the light. When you have this, you are kind just because of your light. If every one of us is concentrating on expanding our own light, healing our multidimensional consciousness and these areas within our soul's consciousness that have trauma in them, that created originally the cycles that then we compound lifetime after lifetime. When we're healing those, then naturally it's just clearer. You're just a clear vessel of light, right? So as we're all doing this, we will naturally be kinder, because it's not kindness, it's love and true divine compassion, which I only just understood a couple months ago, and like this next level. And when I got it, like, oh my God, divine compassion wasn't what I was thinking it was. And that's the point of all of our work and our continued progress, is that we gain that newer, higher perspective of something. And then we realize that the greatest compassion ever is to share that fullness of love and light from our hearts to everyone. And in so doing, we are kinder, but even more so, we're loving and accepting and allowing and sharing that with people, so they too can love and accept themselves. And when people love and accept themselves, guess what happens? They love and accept others, and they share that fullness of love and light all around them. This is what it means, this consciousness shift. And we are shifting it, but at the same time, we are adding this vibration of love and light to actually what is physically happening in our world. And so it's important I feel, to stay connected with what's happening, because that's how you shift it. If we're not paying attention, then the other side, I always call them the other side, but other energies and entities are off doing their own thing unchecked. So it's like a checks and balances almost. We have to be aware and sending light to all aspects that are in play. Whether we know what they are or not isn't the point. Everything, for it to occur in divine alignment with this planet, with what humanity is meant for, what our highest divine plan is, completely. Okay, so it's not about interfering, it's about using, connecting with this light and sharing it and spreading it with intention, because we all know intention matters. Okay, so I want us to just take a deep breath. I feel this divine trust, divine truth, knowing and connecting with that within you. So what resonates with you, what you hear, if it resonates, that you know that it does. And if it doesn't resonate, that's okay, just bounces right off. It does not affect you. And what matters most is we send light to everyone. It's without the judgment of whether they're right or wrong. Just light is what we send for each person to gain the perspective that they need through their own connection, because each one of us has our own role that we are meant to play. And each one of us came here at this time for us to fulfill that role. And it's always multi-layered. Remember, it's not just one role. We each are here at this time going through this scenario. And as we do, and we are fully connected within ourselves, we're helping others to know how to do that too. They want to know how it is that you feel peaceful, that you have peace, that you are sharing that peace. And this is how we move this through quicker. This is part of what we all agreed to do. And that's, for me, the important part is then, okay, so we're doing it, but now let's move it through faster. Let's get this consciousness thing moving. And so that's why we're going to do this work tonight. So I'm going to take Terry, if you're still there, Terry. She is there. I hear a bell. Are you there, Terry? Nope, you're on microphone. You're on mute. Unmute. You might have to unmute yourself on your own side. Terry, can you unmute yourself on your side?
I'm muted by host.
There she is.
Okay, there we go.
Yay! Hi, Terry.
Hi, good evening.
I can hear you, yes. Go ahead.
Okay, very good. I was wondering what my disconnect is, and also if so during this, I'm feeling great and happy, and so I'm doing other things to prepare what my future is, and I am staying quiet each day, but I was wondering if I should put the brakes on what I'm working towards.
Okay, Terry, when you close your eyes, roll your eyeballs up toward your eyebrows. Everybody can do this. It's what puts you into a theta brainwave state very quickly, which is the semi-consciousness state, which allows you to connect to the other side, to your guides, to your higher self very quickly, to get answers and to be quiet and to listen. So when you've done this, and so you roll your eyes up and your eyelids flutter a little bit, and that's fine, and just allow your brain to switch over and relax. Take a deep breath. And say to yourself, I'm following my own divine aligned path. What do you get?
I know I am.
Okay. So that's what's important. I mean, it might mean that every day we check in because things change, even on the energetic side, where there might be something else that came in to play faster or just as a new development, because it's not set in stone. What we are all doing right now, it's not based on time so much. It's a whole energetic divine plan, and it's in flux and flow. And that's why we talk about being in universal energetic flow, because it's always like a river, it's changing, right? And so we have to remember that just because we got information today, that it doesn't mean that that's solid forever, right? We have to be willing and checking in so that we can feel what is necessary for us to do in that moment. Does this make sense?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So the question for you, Terry, you're asking, so let's just jump to the soul piece, because this is so important for all of us to find where on these higher multidimensional levels, or multidimensional levels that you haven't been able to reach. Many of them are older lifetimes, and so it's really what I call the origins. Where were the original splits and disconnections and separations with somebody's with their soul and with their connection with God? We all have them, and that shuts down our gifts and our abilities and our own knowing of divine truth, and having that divine trust, knowing that universe supports us. That's how those get frayed, and why we don't really believe it. And we try really hard to believe it, but we don't really, you know what I mean? We say it, but we don't exactly feel it 100%. So, Terry, just give me a second, and I'm going to tap in for you, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so when you were asking me if what you are doing is what you should be doing. So when I'm tapping into you, though, I see that there's, I'm going to call it a wall. It's not exactly, it's like a ditch and then a wall. So what it means to me, my understanding of this, is that you start on things, but you don't finish them. But it's because you kind of get caught in the trenches of it. So it's almost like saying, it's too hard, so that must not be what I'm supposed to be doing. So then you stop doing it. So the answer to you is, we're going to ask now, so where did this originate, so that you can stop this cycle, okay? Where you get caught in the trenches and then you can't get over it anyway. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right, so let's see if if your highest self will show me. All right, so Terry, we're gonna do some healing work on this for you, okay? Because we have to release it so you can move to your next level. Okay, so I just need you to say yes.
Yes.
Willing and able to release.
Willing and able to release.
And we're calling in the golden light. So everyone who is here, it applies to all of us. And I want you all to know that when we do this work for one person, there's going to be always aspects of ourselves that it will apply to. And if it can be released for you at this time, that it be done. So each person, you may say, yes, thank you. And we are calling in the golden beings of light to assist you each and every one. We're going to need a minute. It's held in your heart, Terry, specifically. This, in English words, right? In our layman terms, we could say it boils down to, I'm not good enough, but that is not the problem. Okay? So when we're looking at a soul level issue, it's that I betray myself. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So when we're going to ask to go back to where that started, everything that we experience in our lives, and my eyes are closed because I'm watching things, sorry. So what happens is that throughout our lifetimes, we compound our issues and they look different. So when we start to go within and say, well, wow, what is the problem, right?
Yeah.
So we always come out with the really simple things like, I don't love myself. Well, that is the problem, but it's not where it started. Does this make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So for you, though, it's about betrayal. That's one of the areas for you. And so down in your second chakra area is where you have a big lump. So let's see what we can do with that. And then I'm going to move on, but it's really funny to me sometimes because when I tap into a person, I always get a giggle about what the higher self will continue to show. Like, okay, so it's right here, and I want you to go do this over here, and I want you to go do this over here. I always get a kick out of it. So, all right, so we're working on this piece that's in that belly area, that belly button area. Okay, so we're going to leave you with that. Terry, thank you very much. I want just allow that energy to keep working so that it will release that lump or get it to shrink, I see. So it'll start shrinking, and then you'll see what next needs to be worked on. Okay?
Very good. I can't watch betrayal on the TV.
There you go. Betrayal is a nasty thing, but all of us have experienced it. And when we have that against ourselves, when we feel that we've betrayed ourselves.
Oh.
Yes. See,
and I've betrayed myself. Okay.
Yes, but it plays out all sides. That's with every issue. It will cycle all the way around and you experience all parts. And that's why people will say, well, I know I've been betrayed, so it must be that. But see, like you just had the epiphany. Oh, no, wait, it's really about me. It's me feeling like I let myself down. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So then that's the ultimate betrayal, but it started on a soul level where you betrayed yourself, meaning then you did something that you knew you were not supposed to do and you did it anyway. We do this a lot even in our 3D life, right? Where we go, why did I do that? I knew better. I shouldn't have done that. I heard myself and I ignored myself. That's one of my favorites. I did that forever. And now, my husband and I talk about it, our biggest mistakes. God, if we just listened to ourselves, we knew better, right? And so that plays out as we betray ourselves. Okay. So you keep working on that, and it will continue to release because you're going to have a couple more layers. We weren't able to go all the way to the soul. We're working still on areas that are not quite to the origin, and sometimes it has to work out that way. Okay. You just keep working it.
I thank you so very much.
You're welcome, sweetie. Thank you.
All right. Anita, are you there? I'm going to unmute you.
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can. Go ahead, sweetie.
Okay, so I had asked my question. I had written it down for your email. So it says, I'd like to have wisdom and understanding about my soul's purpose and how I can also shift into my highest vibrational role in life's abundance. And also anything else that comes through that will be helpful for me. Thank you.
I'm going to have to ask you to read that again. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Read it a little louder.
Okay, so it's about, I'd like to have wisdom and understanding about my soul's purpose and how I can shift into my highest vibrational role in life's abundance and anything else that also comes through.
Okay. So Anita, the first thing that comes through is it's not what you're thinking. So what does that mean to you?
I'm not sure.
Okay. So when you close your eyes and you connect with your own higher self, see, if you've been trying to think it out, see this, you know, I'm a thinker, I'm a spiritual thinker. And what it means though is sometimes our brain fixates on something because it's the only thing that we know, and that's all that our mind can come up with. Okay. So for you, my suggestion is that when you go into a meditative state, and it doesn't have to be with music, I mean, but whatever it is that you need to help yourself move into that theta brainwave state, ask to be shown what it is.
Okay.
So it doesn't mean that you're going to know it first and foremost. We're going to work on a block for you on this in a second. But for me, you know, I get my greatest inspiration in the shower when I'm driving my kids to school at like certain times, and they'll drop information in, and it's really fantastic, right? And so, but I'm often at times I don't have paper and I have to write it down really fast or I forget. And so I've accommodated my life for that. So there's like a little notepad in the console of my car. Things like that. Do you see what I'm saying? I keep index cards at my desk and upstairs in my bathroom because I get things, I have to write them down or I forget. So you're asking to be shown because that keeps your mind out of it. And much of the time it'll come in and you'll think to yourself, I just made that up. But for you, it's about trusting what you're getting and being open to getting it. Part of your issue, and they're showing it to me like a valve, and it's almost like you've sealed it shut. Like, I don't want to hear it, but I want to hear it. So it's this constant back and forth within you, like you're not getting information and you're wondering why, but at the same time, you're afraid to get information. You don't trust what you get. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So let's look at it on a soul level for you. Okay, so what created that to happen to you? So they're showing me a vision of you running for your life. That's always fun. So
yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna do the healing work. I love to do this because I feel for everyone. Like somebody wrote in, that they were feeling the pain near their belly button as I was doing the last clearing. And so basically what happens is our whole show becomes healings and clearings. Like I said, it's going to apply to everybody. We've all had situations where we've turned off the intuitive knowing because we felt that we got in trouble, right? Something happened bad, therefore that was not good. I'm never going to listen to that again, right? That got me in a whole lot of trouble and I'm not having it. And so when it happens enough and that cycle keeps repeating, we shut off the gift and we shut off the ability. And that's why I talk a lot about by reconnecting with our heart and our soul, that's when we reopen our gifts, because we get rid of the traumas that created the reason that we shut them down to start with. Does this make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So Anita, Andrea says, I second that question. Good question, Anita. So see, everybody together, we all have these areas that keep us from knowing what our own divine truth is, what our own intuition is saying. And Tony was asking, what is the difference or she says, hi, this is Annie. Sorry, sweetie. Oh, it just went. What is the difference between intuitive or telepathic conversations with who I know is my twin flame? Okay, well, we'll go further into that, but I want to talk about that intuitive or telepathic. So intuitive conversations are when you're connecting through your higher self to you. Okay, and so a telepathic would be when you're connecting from one higher self to another higher self. And I get that with my animals. I get it with my clients. You know, a lot of them, they'll just pop in and I will text them and say, hey, sending you love and light. And they'll go, how did you know? Because your higher self contacted mine, bam, and I knew something was up. Does this make sense? So that was the answer for Annie. But for all of us, it is making those connections of the intuitive as well as the telepathic. And when we talk about all of us together uniting our light, we're doing that telepathically with one another, supporting one another, providing the energy we all need to create actually what it is that we need in our lives. And so then we can actually be connected to one another telepathically, energetically, and kind of pool our energy and our power. And so that's what I see for all of us as we move ourselves through this current illness and virus that is going around, that with our intuitive assistance, all of us can move not just this experience to come to its quick fruition, let's say. Let's get it to where it needs to be for everyone's divine alignment and their highest good. So together we help each other in all ways. And that's kind of the beauty of being a light worker, right? Is that we're all here intuitively and telepathically connected to. So Anita, in all this chit chat, there's a reason. Many times I have to wait to hear when you're ready. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So we took a question because we weren't ready to start. So now we're ready. So now everybody close your eyes, because there's going to be, all of us have had traumas on every level of our being and our existence where we have turned off or do not listen to our own intuition. We are unable to hear it or to discern when it is our intuition versus our ego mind, and whether it's somebody else influencing us. That's all important, especially here forward, for us to have this ability fully open and fully connected. So just take that deep breath for me. And it's coming up. Yes, it's coming up. So we're just going to allow it to clear. Forgiveness is a very big part of this for you and for everyone out there. I assure you, forgiveness is very big. Forgiveness of yourself, forgiveness of the beings, the people that influenced, affected, and impacted you in a negative way. And in this case, influenced you in a way that got you hurt, maimed, and killed. So kind of a big thing. And so then what happens is, as we continue on, we just experience various parts of that theme over and over. So just take a deep breath in and out. And everyone, feel the golden light now come down in through your crown chakra into your entire chakra system. So the continued opening, clearing, expansion of your entire body system, I hear. Tuning your ears. So for all those who have turned off your hearing, your multidimensional hearing, your multidimensional sight, and in all the ways that you are able to bring in information through your higher self and highest self into your current reality, for those blockages and fears to be released. reconcile, let go of, and for the light to come in and rewire your receptors so that you may receive the information, the understanding, the wisdom, the clarity that comes from your highest self, and that you have the will and the alignment to hear it and accept it, and to take the divine aligned actions you are meant to take for your highest good. Deep breath in and out, and that became a really big clearing for everyone as people are asking what should they do, right? What should we do? All right, so how do you feel, Miss Anita? You
Okay, a little bit lightness.
okay?
Energy moving around.
Yep, it'll keep moving. And for everybody here, this is so important for all of us to just allow the energy to do what it's doing. The energy, your highest self, knows what is needed for you. And for each one of us, we are beings of light. The only issue is if we're standing in the way of that, right? And so we have to get out of our own way, and we have to be able to be connected to get the information. So Anita, on this piece for you, how does it feel for I can hear?
I think there's a little resistance still.
Okay. So now the next part is going to be that auditory. They're showing it to me right in this part. So that will be another time, but I thank you, and everybody might come up next, but I'm going to move on to the next person as well. But know that the energy is still working, and we can ask for all of the blockages that are keeping us from hearing, knowing, gaining that wisdom and understanding, that it be released. So for everybody, that is what is being put in play. All right. Thank you, sweetheart.
Thank you so much, Gabrielle. Bless you. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. So wait, I'm going to quickly just go to the chat. I love to do the live, so just give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Oh, good. So this person says, thank you, Gabrielle. I am Tony, and I was caught in old programming versus divine truth. Yeah, awesome. Divine truth, so important. And when we are hearing things out there, whoever you're listening to, on the news, friends, family, other leaders of light, etc., ask, even before you start, or even while they're saying something, to be shown what's your divine truth about it. It doesn't mean that what they're saying is wrong, but what it means is that you have your own role and your own path. Okay, so you being in alignment with your own divine truth is really important, because it's going to get a little bit nuts, a little bit more nuts, not just currently, but it will as we keep going. So what work can or should we be doing with our children? Tosh, you must know I have kids. So important, Tosh. Thank you for the question. The most important thing for our children is to be able to connect with their own stability, with their own ability to feel this high heart and connect with the light, okay? So for all of us, my husband and I agree and share with our children. You know, they speak about their concerns, and we all watch the news and we talk about what's happening. And then we have our own plans for what we're doing and how we're dealing with things in the 3D. And for the things that we don't know, we are doing just what I'm teaching you to do right now, which is to close your eyes, roll them up toward your eyebrows, roll your eyeballs up toward your eyebrows, and allow your eyelids to flutter. And you take those 3 deep breaths and allow your brain to switch over. Kids are really awesome at it. I started teaching my children this when they were younger, And I love the sacred names of God. And I would teach them how to use the sacred names of God. You can print them out on the internet, so they're free. And I would teach them when they were feeling sad. So basically what I'm saying is you can teach it to your kids, but use it too. It's so amazing. And many of my clients that I see on my list here tonight, thank you for coming, I've taught them the same thing. And it's, you know, with the sacred names of God, there's 72 sacred names of God. So if you put in 72 sacred names of God in the browser, it will come up with the symbols of them. Some of them will have meanings. And to be honest, I like the children meanings of the sacred names of God, because first, you can understand them. And second, you can understand what they're saying. But more importantly, it's that you can connect with them. So I would have my children open up the book for the sacred names of God, and wherever it opened, I would have them put their hand over the symbol that they had chosen and ask for that symbol to be downloaded and activated within them, because the sacred names of God are such an amazing tool of protection and advancement consciously and energetically. They're just amazing. And the children learned then, in doing this, just putting their hand over it and asking their higher self to download it and activate it within them, that would cause them an instantaneous shift. And I've shared this with all of my clients that have children, and I've shared it with people who aren't using it with their children, because it's a way to get out of your own way and to learn how to bring in the light and allow the light to provide you what you need. Does that make sense? I hope that helps. Okay, I'm going to quickly zip down here. I'm going to get back to live calls. Okay, so Liz, she says she's feeling pain in her head and her chest with this work. So keep your eyes rolled up. If you're still feeling pain, keep your eyes rolled up, and we ask that the work, the light, the highest vibration of golden light continue to heal and release, to reconcile, and to provide you with the healing that you need to bring yourself into a stasis point of peace, joy, love, and happiness without pain, free of pain, and to know a painless state of being. That whatever is causing you this pain, for it to be dissolved with this golden light, the highest vibration, and to provide you the teachings and the understanding, the divine wisdom that you need to release it. Fill yourself with golden light, every cell of your being throughout your multidimensional existences, bringing you into a state of wholeness. Thank you. All right, tell me, Liz, if that helps. And for everybody, if that's how you're feeling, then you just need to allow the light to continue to work, because you're processing still. Okay? Okay, Lance, great. Still processing through the crown. Nice energy. I'm excited to hear this. Hello, Gabrielle. I'm wondering if you're seeing anything to help me get really clear on what is in my divine path and purpose. Okay, we'll get to that. Lori, Karen says, I've been told I'm a healer. I don't know which type of modality or if I'd be a good healer. I currently have a completely different career path. What do you see? I'm also more anxious than usual. Can you do any clearing? Yes. Okay. So you guys are writing in faster than I can read. Tosh says, thank you so much. You're welcome so much. I've always gotten a headache when I roll my eyes up. Very painful. Don't roll them all the way up. And if it hurts too much, Melissa, I'm going to say to you, and we'll do something with that, because that's going to be a seer issue. Does that make sense? Okay.
Your chest was better before I read your comment. Uh-oh, but throat was tight. Thank you. Sadness came up as you did that additional clearing. Good. So you're still clearing, Liz. Just keep allowing that energy to work. I know that it seems counterintuitive to think to yourself, so I'm having more pain now that you did that. Well, it's that it's being cleared and other things are coming up right away that also need to be cleared. So just as you're feeling it, everybody, if you're still feeling tense or that it didn't shift or it made it worse, that means that there's more that's being released, and you just keep opening yourself to the light and asking through your highest self that the light continue to come in to heal and reconcile and make you whole. Okay? It's really a beautiful thing when you allow and trust and know that that's what's happening. Okay, so I'm going to go back to live calls for just a second, and I will come back and we will, okay, so we're getting more about the eyes, right? And Liz says, sadness regarding mistakes made. Yes. Oh, good. So lots coming up for everybody. This is great. This is why we're doing this. Because to get to the origin of things, sometimes this other work has to be done first. And that's okay. It's all part of the process. And all of this work for everybody is just, let's let it go so that we can move to the bigger stuff, right? Because here's the beauty of this. I realized that after years of healing and doing healing work, healing on myself and then doing healing work, is that eventually you get to a place where you're not doing it quite like this anymore. And you get to a place instead of, you're taking the activations and you're getting to shift, and it's not the same, and it's easier actually. Okay. Okay, so there's lots of questions everywhere. So here we go. Let's just stay focused, right? So we're going to take Melissa. I think, Melissa, is that you who also wrote in on the chat? I'm going to unmute you. Can you unmute yourself? Melissa. There she is.
Okay.
There she is.
Yeah, I unmuted myself now. Okay. And
okay.
Yeah.
So was that you who wrote to me here that you had lots coming up in your throat?
Yeah, a lot.
All right.
Yeah, sorry. A lot of. Mm-hmm.
Go ahead. Start. You can talk now. I'm going to stop reading.
Okay, that's fine. No, yeah. I mean, this whole. I feel like a lot of things have been moving. A lot of triggers around different things, and a lot of, betrayal and things like that have been really, really, really big. That's like a huge one in this lifetime, and I guess I'm sure it was before, but I assumed that what I was to get from that was that basically I've been betrayed by every single individual who's come into my life so far, including my family. So that means probably that
Okay, let me tell you what I hear.
Huge level, right? I don't want to be.
Here's the soul level question.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
So I want you just to close your eyes. So for everybody, another really big one for all of us that nobody wants to talk about because it sounds awful, right? But when we're doing this work, remember, we don't know exactly all of the avenues that created the situation. I mean, just think about something in your current life and you think to yourself, when you're trying to tell it to a friend, right? There's only so many parts of it that you understand because other people are involved and they have their own agendas, etc., right? So we don't know all of the facets of what creates a situation. And so when we're working with it on these higher multidimensional levels, we are not uncovering all that part. That is not what the job entails. What we're wanting is the nugget. What is the nugget of what it is that has to be reconciled and healed? Okay, so in your case, my love, it is I hate myself. And so in this soul spur, I hear, which is a new one for me. That's very interesting. So imagine it like a burr under a saddle of a horse.
Yep.
Okay. So this for you, and like I can see it. I know I'm doing something with my hand, but I can see like there's this thing up there. So we're going to take that out and get that to resolve. So we're going to work on that. Right now we're working on that. And so for everybody else that may not have that specific issue, right? But we all have within our multidimensional existences somewhere where we have that secret piece of, I just hate myself. I just hate my job. I hate where I am. I hate my choices. Whatever it is, that is just going to be a reflection somewhere of a burr in your saddle. Somewhere there's going to be areas where something didn't turn out, and it will just continue to be a burr in your side, per se. So I want everybody to, again, take a deep breath and just know that whatever comes up, it's good. Let it come up. Don't stuff it back down. Don't be afraid of it. In fact, the more that you envelope what you're feeling in light, the faster you'll move through it. You'll move it out, and it will be sent and transformed to the light. It's kind of just what I've been saying about this whole virus thing. The faster that we encase it in light, it can be dissolved and moved out. All of us are here as powerful beings of light. It is part of what we're here to do as a mission, is to hold the light. And so when something is disrupting the light, like in this case where it's making us feel less than, not good enough, or unstable, then we learn the lesson we need to learn from it with ease and grace, quickly and easily, and then dissolve the remnants of that lesson. We don't need it anymore. And so if all of us are doing that, we can help move things through faster. And so same with you, and I hear now that that's been released. So for you, Melissa, just know then that we're gonna again ask everybody to be filled with golden light. Every cell of your being, just breathe it in. It's manna from heaven. This is what fills you and helps you to feel complete, whole, reconnecting that heart all the way up to your crown chakra, all the way up through your higher mind, to your soul, asking for that golden light to come in and assist each person with their knowing, their clarity, and their understanding for what's in their highest good. Forgiving yourself, each and every one of us, forgiving ourselves for the parts that we have played that have caused the traumas that we have experienced. Deep breath in and out, allowing yourself the freedom of forgiveness. That's a new one. All right. Freedom from forgiveness. I like it. That might be a title here. All right. How do you feel, Melissa?
Oh, I just want to tell you that, I also want to share that exact same wording came through me right before you said that, allowing the freedom of forgiveness. I want to tell you how huge this is and how spot on you are, and that those exact words, I hate myself, have been bursting to the surface. I mean, like even last night, I said that out loud to myself when I got a tick on me and I was trying to get it off and I couldn't get it and it broke off, and the frustration, and I said those words. I said, oh, I hate you. I hate myself. It was like, it's so here. And way back on my 44th birthday, when I had a numerology reading with the leader of the Coptics, and he said, you're here for self-forgiveness. So these are huge. These are the cores, the keys. It is the burr under my saddle, and I am so, so grateful. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
You're welcome, sweetheart. My heart to yours, sweetie.
Oh,
Just
bless
know
you.
we're all connected and everybody's sending you love and light. And know that you are not alone. Everybody has aspects of this within us. And together, right now, we're moving it through for everybody. So beautiful. And why? Okay. All right, my love. I love you. I love you. I love you. Just know you've touched my heart. I thank you for being here, Melissa, and continue the work, sweetie, okay? It does
Okay, thank you.
continue to get better and better.
All right.
All right, baby. All right. So it looks like a limb is saying, why do we have this hatred? See, Liz says she's love to you, Melissa. See, beautiful. I felt heat and buzzing and eyelids fluttering. I love to you, Melissa. Thank you. See, everybody, Melissa, see, this is, somebody asked earlier, are we going to be kinder? This is what we mean by kindness. You guys are so inspiring. This is the kindness that we need. The love, that true. You've touched my heart, and because you've touched my heart, I'm sending it right back to you tenfold. Love this. Okay, I will share with you, if you want the name of the children's book, just type in kids book 72 Names of God. I have it somewhere on my bookshelf and I can't tell you the name of it right off the top of my head, but it's got an orange cover with a little kid on it and he's looking in a treasure box. So I'll look for that for you guys after and put it in the email, okay, for the replay for tomorrow. All right, love. So we keep going because somebody said that one brought tears to my eyes. I know. See, it's when we just show up and we are just, it's okay to be you. That's it. Standing in your divine truth, no matter what it looks like, that's when you can let it go. And that's what's so important for all of us to know. There isn't judgment. It's about just being willing to let it go and to let the healing go as deeply as it needs to go without any issues, right? Okay, so now I have several people. I have Andrea, so I will get to you in a minute. She's got her hand up so we can talk to her, which is always actually my favorite way. Oh, good. Melissa says she feels the love. Melissa's story gave me tingles head to toe. That's right, Susan. So amazing, right? Thank you, beloved spirits. I feel the love, says Melissa. Oh, I just love that. Okay, so now Joan is asking, this is Joni, how can I reopen my gifts that I shut down because of the pain? All right, and somebody else asked me earlier that she too was having issues with her eyes. So if you would like, we will do something quickly where I will tap in for all of the healers, because somebody else wrote that they know they're a healer, but it's not in their wheelhouse really. They're not really sure what type of healing that they need to do. Okay, let me see if I can find it. Karen says, I'm told that I'm a healer. It's not her profession. I do love and thrive on energy healing. What type of healing modality is in my path, and what is my next career path? So here's the key to the career path thing. First, we have to get over the fact that it may not be the traditional aspect of what we know to be a career, okay? So for all of us, let's begin this work just opening our gifts, because all of us have gifts and we definitely need them right now, right? We need them to be in alignment. And good. We all need to be open to allowing that healing of these past scars where we have suffered because of our gifts. So when we suffer because of our gifts, we shut down our gifts, and then it sort of compounds our problems. because we're then flying, think about it, without radar, without your intuition intact, without it being fully connected. And that's our GPS. That's our best GPS, okay? That our knowing and our ability to tap into higher knowing, because our minds only know what it knows on this plane and what we've been told and what we can think of, okay? And so what happens is then we are closed off to all of our other senses of knowing and hearing and being fully connected, so that it's also not being influenced also by energies and entities that are not of the highest. And so then we can get duped too. And so that's something to always be aware. We want to stay in our center, our heart center, so that we know we're in divine alignment and in our own divine truth and understanding with our souls. So I'm seeing a lot of visions, because I've opened this up for everybody with healer issues, basically, right? So where we've closed down our eyesight because we didn't want to see, where we've closed our ears because we didn't want to hear, where we've closed down our other clair abilities, because in some way it's harmed us to have them open. So I want each person to just close your eyes, because even if you don't think you're a healer, it's not really the point. It's that all of us have the ability to see multidimensionally. Okay, so when I spoke earlier today that the third eye, the transition is happening to where we're not just using the third eye anymore. We had gone from the third eye to the fourth eye, and now it's moving to a multidimensional sight. Okay, so it's not called a multidimensional eye, it's multidimensional sight. And it's where you're able to see from a much broader perspective. And when you're able to see this, one thing that it does is it allows you to see easier what's actually happening, so you don't get caught up in it and drugged down so that you feel the fear, because that's the next bigger thing. When all we can see is what's right in front of us, it's easy for us to be affected by the fear, because that's all we can see. But when we have multidimensional sight, what happens is you gain that broader perspective, and you know how to use and direct your energy to move through whatever the issue is. Let me know if you can understand what I'm saying, or what that means to you. What did you hear me say? Because this is a super important part about being able to navigate the times that we're in and that are going to continue. Because even coming through this virus, this is our training grounds. Okay, I feel very strongly this is to get us all to awaken and say, hey, I'm a powerful being, and I need to use my abilities, and I need to tap into them. I need to get them online. I need to be in alignment. I need to be able to be that full, whole being. That's where we are. The more that you encompass your gifts, your abilities, your knowing, your understanding, the easier this will be for you, and the easier you'll be able to see through the illusions and the lies that are being propagated out there, and know that it's not your ego mind only that's speaking to you. Okay, so this is an important time for all of us. So I want everybody to just roll your eyes up and take that deep breath and allow we're going into void energy now. This is part of my gifts, to be able to tap into energy that is outside of the universal laws of this particular existence. And that is because you as a soul are not confined to this parsec of the universe, right? We are outside of dimensionality. So we're going into void energy to heal the separations from your soul that have created the shutdown of your multidimensional sight And so for a lot of you, if you've been working on your gifts, and they haven't opened, it's because it's going to be on these levels that require an energetic that is not available in this particular universe, or the multidimensionality related to this universe. And so we go outside into the void energy to provide and create for you the formula, the frequencies that you need that will make you whole in this arena, in this area. Just take a deep breath in and out. All right. So we're going to keep allowing that to work for everybody. Okay. And let me know how you feel. Yes. Tara, that's common. I know that I've been burned and I disconnected from all my gifts. Yes. So many times. All of us, unfortunately, have gotten to experience this. And it goes beyond forgiveness. It really goes back to that divine trust, what we're talking about today. Because when that happens to us, we close down our abilities and gifts because we no longer trust that we're safe to use them. And then again, notice that it brings us back to that energetic of struggle, right? We're not safe and stable if we're using our gifts. And so then that gets triggered even in a situation that we're in now. That will be triggered again because we're not safe. So we better not use our gifts because then we'll be even more unsafe. So you see how that cycle repeats itself, and it actually makes itself worse because what you need most right now is your gifts and abilities to be online and in alignment with your soul. Do you see what I mean? Yes, exactly, Tara. That's right. So that's what we're all working on right now. Yes, we all have to get our gifts going, Melissa. That's what we mean when we say being light. Being light, you are able to hold more light, project more light, share more light, send more light, use light to create. That's what creates things. So if you've been wondering to yourself, why am I not abundant? Why are things shutting down for me? Yes, it's because you have these soul disconnections that have happened, and they've created other issues, and it just continues to cycle. And then you're not able to create the way we know we should be able to, because you don't have enough light to create it, to power it up, basically. And that's why I said too, as we connect and realize as light workers that that's part of the brilliance of the plan, is for us to connect intuitively, energetically, create these light matrices so that we're using more power, basically. More light equals more power. Okay, so this is very, very important. Can you reconnect the soul disconnections now? Yes, we've been doing it. Yes, a gap between what I know, believe, and what I can create. Yes. So all of these things, trust me, I'll do a special soul reconnection for all the soul aspects that we can bring back. We will do that. Andrea, if you can unmute yourself, I'm going to pull you up now. That all comes into play, all of everything that we're doing, because all of us in some way, shape, or form, we have, oh, did I just unmute everybody? Hold on. So there she is. Andrea, are you there?
Yes, hello.
All right. Can you speak up?
Can you hear me?
Yes, very lightly,
Okay.
but go ahead.
Hi. So that just brought up a lot of questions, a lot more. So I think, and yes, we've all disconnected in one way or another and many different times. I totally agree with that. So thank you. These have been beautiful. I guess my question is, maybe if you can tap in, and hopefully it'll be a good healing for everyone. Yeah.
It's always applicable to everybody. How do we bring in more light? That's a question that's being asked. And the answer is we're healing. The more that you heal yourself and these areas held within your multidimensional self, the more that you heal that and we bring ourselves together. I have an example. I'm going to share it really quickly. Let me see where the other one is. I don't see it well, it's okay. Here we go. Everybody see this? It is a slinky. Everybody see that? Slinkies like this, right? And they go down and etc. And as we go through our lifetimes, those slinkies get all blech, like this, right? They get all yucky and you can't get them to go back correctly. So as we're healing our multidimensional selves, we get ourselves back into a column like this, right? And so we've taken out those kinks and glitches by doing the healing work and reconciling the issues that need to be and forgiving the ones that need to be. And when we do it on the soul level, which is what's available to us now because of the frequency we're at and where we are in our timeline. So now we're bringing the slinky back into this straight column here. But notice there's still holes, right? But as we bring ourselves together, we also bring the slinky together. And then you become a solid column of light like that. And so that's what we're saying is our goal. This is how we hold more light, is by being that solid column of light and fully connected. And we do that by healing all that's causing the separation in the space and for our light to kind of leak out. It's the best way I can describe it. I hope that helps everybody. All right, now, Andrea, let's tap in here. Andrea. Is it Andrea or Andrea?
Andrea.
Andrea. So, my love, there is like a 200-pound weight on you. You know those old cartoons where they had those big barbell things that said like 200 pounds on it? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like you've got it right here. So we want to work to take that off. So the first thing I'm being given to ask you is, are you willing to let it go?
Absolutely.
But can you let it go?
I hope so.
That seems to be the bigger issue, is owning it. So we're going to work for you for all of those aspects of that. So you can see already there are a lot of reasons it hasn't gone away, because there's a lot of attachments.
Yeah, I've been working on it for a while. And then it started getting, and then bigger, more trauma dramas were happening. The more I would work to release it, the worse things would happen. And I was like, what, and then I would stop, obviously.
Yeah, that's a common thing though for people. Like they're working on it, and then like we just talked about, even in this, everybody's said that, right? They'll go, but now I'm getting painful over here, and I didn't have this pain in my heart before, and I didn't feel, my chest constricting, okay? So what happens is we have to keep going. That just shows you that you're starting to take it apart. And sometimes that's how the work has to happen. You have to take apart the layers before you can actually get rid of the thing, because when you're trying to attack the thing, it digs in more. So it's what I call backdooring the problem. So we don't work on that 200-pound weight, because it will just dig in, and then there will be reset programming, and that sounds like that's what you've experienced. So instead, what we're going to ask your higher self is to show us what needs to be released, so that basically it's almost like, I think of it like sneaking up on the problem. So it's almost like it doesn't know we're coming after it. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Let's do it.
See why this is so much fun for me? Because I see it in a completely different way. I'm just kind of like, yeah, that's okay. We'll leave it there. We're going to go ask how we can go around it so we can get to it. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yes.
All right. So I want everybody to take a deep breath, because we actually want to pool everybody's energy for this. And the reason, not that we haven't been using everybody's energy anyway, but all of us are carrying things that act like sandbags, keeping us stuck where we are and unable to see or create any new opportunities for ourselves, because we only know what we know. And moreover, we think that that's all that exists. And that seems to be part of the issue here, is that that's all you know. And so I'm keeping it. It's what I hear. It's all I know, so I'm keeping it. So for everyone, we all have that. We keep things, even if it's clutter. We keep it because, well, it's not harming anything, right? I know how to deal with it. It's fine. I've made peace with it, or whatever we tell ourselves. So, all right. And so there's a memory coming up for you here, and has to do with a lifetime as a witch. So we're going to guilt and shame. So you see, for everybody, how this it just builds on itself. And so when you start to take apart that 200-pound weight, you can see already. So there are pieces that we can work on that aren't going to trigger anything else. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right. Oh. Okay. All right, for everyone, we're going to do a soul repatriation. Very interesting words. I always love words, and I love the words that are given, because it's stuff that we don't talk about, right, in regular English. So what I'm being shown is that we're going to go ahead and do what was requested earlier, which is, to do soul reconnection. So we're going to, for everyone, call back the aspects of your soul that can be called back at this time and repatriated. So that's quite fascinating. All right, everybody, take that deep breath again. Say, yes, I'm willing and able to receive and to accept all aspects of my soul that can be returned, provided with unconditional love healing, bathed in the golden light, to make them whole, balanced, healthy, and complete, and returned in oneness to my soul on every level of my being, throughout all of my multidimensional existences, to be provided with the frequencies needed for complete healing, infusing you with golden light, every cell of your being, to realign, to make whole and healthy all of your DNA, to activate all strands of your DNA that can be activated at this time, bringing all aspects of your multidimensional selves into alignment, to open your high heart, to fully connect your high heart through your higher mind to your soul, filling you with golden light continuously. And for this golden light to envelope you in protection, love, compassion, divine truth, divine trust, and knowingness, divine knowing, divine wisdom, divine understanding, to assist you to open your gifts and abilities, releasing all fear, anger, hurt, guilt, shame, frustration. Allowing all of these lower emotions that are held within your emotional body to be shifted to the highest vibration of love, joy, peace, compassion, trust, knowing, intuitive understanding and knowing. Take a deep breath in and out. Okay, how does the weight feel on your back now? It's okay. It's less. It's less.
I've had a kinked neck for a month. I mean, really bad. It kinks, so, and that's been. It feels better. I was kind of off for a second, so I apologize.
No, you're fine. You know, the great thing about energy work is it's just being present and giving your permission. And the energy work does the work. For you, yes, I would say, okay, so you're not stooped over, but that will continue to clear, and you continue to ask your higher self to show you what needs to be cleared next. So it's basically saying you're not going after the 200-pound weight. Okay, so let's say that we went from 200-pound weight, let's say it's about 150 now. But that's because there's going to be other things that contributed to the creation of that. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So that's something that you would want to either connect with me and begin working on, or find another healer that you resonate with to get help with that, because that has to be dissolved, and it can be dissolved, and then move into your next, what needs to happen for you next. So that's how the healing works. It's sometimes we have to start with the layers that are most obvious, and sometimes we don't, and it's never in any order. It depends on what your higher self shows us can be done. Does that make sense? I always say to people, we think we know what we're going after, but the truth is that when we connect on the other side, sometimes it's something completely opposite, but eventually it gets to that thing that we were aware of. It's not always what we're aware of. Does that make sense?
Oh, absolutely. And I actually have an appointment with you, so I look forward to it.
Lucky. All right, so we'll get right on it then. Maybe by then, this has been awesome, because then we've started the process, and then we can get further with that.
Nice.
Oh, good. I'm excited. Thank you, Andrea. I'm excited you're here.
Thank you.
Okay. Now, let me see really quick. Do we have more? I think that's it. I think we got all the hands. Okay. Yes, it makes a lot of sense. Yes, it does. And Wilma says, oh, I felt that clearing so strongly for guilt and shame. I feel like my heart is on fire, but the words remorse and regret popped up. Can you look at my field and clear whatever else is popping, ready to go now? Okay, Wilma, let's do that. Somebody else has written in too. Oh my, wow. All right, so here we go. We're going to do, thank you, Lynn. Lynn says, you are so good. See, that's so nice. That makes me happy. I love that you're resonating with the work. This, we all put years into it. And as many of you know, if you've followed me for a while, and for those who don't, know that I came into healing kicking and screaming and did not want to do it again. And I knew that. It's the words I used. I don't want to do that again. I just want to be a normal, regular person. And so this is the culmination of working through my blocks and reopening my gifts and abilities. And then once you begin reopening, the beauty is it's not limited to the gifts and abilities that you had. What happens is you get more, and they're actually really cool. So it's fun. It's kind of like, wow, that is so amazing. I could never have imagined it or spoke about it to anybody about how it works. But that's generally how it works. As you've opened yourself again and reclaim who you are, and as you continue it, because that job isn't done, right? We're multidimensional beings, and there's just so amazing amounts of information and understanding how to use energy and this void energy to actually create, much like the gurus create. So we've used Metatron's cube, and that's part of it. And then expanding out to advanced Metatron's cube and beyond to be able to tap into this deeper energy, this other energy, in order to bring that into your current reality. So that's really, for me, the trick now is, okay, we can do this, right? We've all been able to change traffic lights and get parking spaces and such, but now we're doing this on a larger scale. And that's what I said with this coronavirus. It's all about using our energy for the highest intent and to see that moving through. And that's how we gain the experience we're going to need for what comes in the future, because there will be more in the future. Okay. All right, so there's so much. There's so many things here going on. Okay, so here it is, guys. We're later than normal, but if you want to keep going, I'm willing to keep going. Let me see, Vivian. See, this is what is fun for me. I really love it. So I enjoy all of you as well. Okay. And Melissa says, yes, I already feel the more coming. And Terry says, thank you so much. I've really enjoyed working with you, and we will continue. Yes, yes, yes. All of this. And so I want to tell everybody, do you mean more viruses or other stuff? I mean other stuff. This is not the end. And so that's what it's not about worrying about it. It's about realizing that the earth is on its divine plan. We are on our divine plan, and that we are meant to fully regain our knowing, okay? That we are meant to tap into who we are. And the only way to do that is to tap in through your heart, your high heart, okay? That your heart chakra is here, but your high heart is here in the thymus area. And so what we mean is, your heart has its own consciousness, just like your soul has its overall consciousness. Our minds have their consciousness. Our emotional body has its consciousness. And throughout all of our lifetimes, these memories and traumas and ways that we have shut ourselves down go with our consciousness. So it doesn't matter what body you're in, that this consciousness comes with you, okay? And nothing is what we think it is. That's the whole point. Jude is writing, the virus isn't what we think it is. That's right. This virus is it's just what it is right now, okay? What matters is that we realize, okay, all of this stuff is falling down around us, but it's up to us to create the experience, okay? That we want to create a better experience. It doesn't mean that every single system has to be torn down. Maybe that's not the gentlest way to go about shifting things. But it's not up for us to think about it or to know, but to be in alignment with the divine plan, our role with that divine plan. And by doing that, you will be in unison with all of the divine plan. Okay, because we're not separate, but by being in alignment, then we know that we're using our light to bring about this next shift with ease and grace. It does not have to be painful. in the being painful part, that's because we are basically getting that 2x4 that I talked about earlier to make us wake up and to remember that we are to be connected fully within, so we can be connected all together here in the energetic realms. Okay, so it's not up here, it's just all connected, like we talked about, intuitively, telepathically, energetically. We are creating a matrix of light from which to create a gentler, more loving reality, right? And so in order for us to do that, we're getting the kick in the butt right now. And that's for all of us to wake up and say, hey, wait a minute, we are powerful, sovereign beings. And in being so, it's up to us to create that. And so we do that by being active with our light and choosing that, yes, and having no fear and not falling into fear, instead saying, okay, this is happening, but actually I want to create for us a life that doesn't have to experience this level of pain in order to shift. We can use light to help all that need to shift, to do it quicker, to do it faster, to help release more, like what we're doing with what we're doing tonight with everybody, is that even if we think we're working on one person, if it's our intention to share it with everybody who's here and everybody who's listening from this moment and then in the replays, that everybody is getting this same work and allowing that to heal whatever needs to be healed in the multi-dimension, then we're moving everybody faster through whatever they need to learn, and they can open themselves more. Because when we release the energetic of fear and hurt and pain and trauma and betrayal, what fills it is the light. And so that's how we hold more light and we bring in more light, and how we then share more light. Does that make sense? Yes. What about heaven on earth? That's another talk, another day. Heaven on earth is what we make it. And we have to be beings of light to create that. Your work is just spot on. Thank you, Sherry. Thank you for your love and sharing your service. I send love and gratitude. Thank you to you and everyone here. So true, because that's what makes it more powerful. The more of us that join together, the more powerful the light and the energy is, and it compounds itself. It's just amazing how that works. Okay. Yes, Angela says, I work in a long-term care facility under outbreak circumstances, and I already see the effects of sharing more light. There you go. All right, so before I go much further, I want to put in here now.net / all right, if you want to have a private session with me, I am opening some private session space. You can go to uanow.net / private. It's uanow.net / private. And I put it in the chat box for you so that you can set up a time to work with me. I don't generally do just one session. But I'm opening it because I know that this is where we're going. We need to really get moving and get there quickly. All right, so I'm going to keep going now. uanow.net / private. So we'll give this a few more minutes and see what else we can do for everybody. Okay. All right, Vivian, I'm opening up your phone line. Go ahead. Are you there?
Yes.
There she is.
Hi, Gabrielle. How are you?
I'm good, Vivian. How are you?
I'm very happy to be able to talk with you and to ask you this question, you and the beings of light.
Yes.
I've been working with my first 3 chakras, especially the second chakra, the emotional body. It's always very dense in there. And I've been working a lot on releasing and doing a lot of breath work and a lot of like voice and stuff that I get intuitive like messages, but I just can't get into the deep root of it. So maybe you can help me with that.
Yeah, it's not in your emotional body. All right. So for you, okay, so there's, all right. So this is what I love about higher selves. Sometimes I say to people, so I can connect with somebody, and sometimes there'll be a lot of talk, a lot of, okay, and then there's this, and then there's this, and then there's this, and it makes me laugh, because it's like, okay, we've got your attention, all right, I want you to do all these things, and that always cracks me up. And then sometimes I'll connect with somebody and it's like really quiet, and then, you know, I have to do other things in order to get information. But so you have a very chatty higher self. That's what's making me laugh. All right, because so one of the first things that I was shown was a tree. So I don't know what it means exactly, but it went, I want to say, through your heart, and that's very bizarre. So I don't understand what kind of a being you were at the time, but whatever it is, it's I'm going to say fractured your heart. So the emotional body work is a piece, but we're going to work on this fractured heart piece, because like I said, it's not always what we think it is that we're working on. Sometimes it's somewhere else that has to be worked on in order to get to the part you're aware of. So we want to do this work for, all right. So everybody, again, roll your eyes up, take a deep breath, because everybody will have a broken heart, a fractured heart, a frazzled heart. I recently worked on somebody who had a charred heart. I think she's even on this call. So all of us have areas of our hearts that have been hurt in some way. I've worked on a lot of people that have had daggers in their hearts, energetically still there. Parts of their hearts that have died, layers of their hearts that are dead. And so when people say I'm dead inside, and they think that it's just happened from their current life, it's that there are layers from different lifetimes where you basically died of a broken heart, or in some way that layer died for real. So when we talk about multi-layers and multi-dimensions of your heart, it's that all layers have to be alive and fully flat. So for a lot of people, I will see ripples or fractures, and like I said, yours has like a tree in it. There's hope, you know, almost like if you took, let's say, your heart and you slammed it down through the top of the tree and it got stuck like in the middle. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Very weird. Okay. So let's see what created that and what we can do to heal that on a soul level, because that's obviously something much bigger than, you know, just a feeling or a thought, right? Or an emotion. All right, so now it's down in the base of your spine. So I hear that we're disentangling all the ways that this experience has I'm going to say entwined you. It looks like it's almost like a binding, but bindings of this experience. So give this a minute. Let me know when you feel that release.
Yeah, I feel a softening in the connection between the heart and the root chakra, like the base of my spine.
Down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, but at the moment we're not all the way down. Right now it's at the crease, I guess, of your lower back to your buttocks. So what that means is that, you know, it's got to disentangle itself and be dissolved. But right now I don't see it down all the way to your first chakra yet. So that would be like the equivalent of, I guess, the second chakra if you're looking at it from your back.
Mm-hmm.
So interesting, because you talked about the chakra, right? But we went to the heart in order to get there. See what I mean?
Yeah.
So we're working on this issue, and then that it entwined itself, but going down, instead of how we always see the chakra system from the front, it's actually going down the base of your spine down. So that too, though, would tell you it's not just affecting your emotions, that it is keeping your whole nervous system and your ability to communicate even within your physical body through your nervous system, that it would be interfering.
Exactly. Yeah, I feel that blockage in every sense.
Yeah. It's all right. Okay, this is good. This is what we want, right? Is for this all to allow this, the energy and the formulas to the healing, hold on a second. They're showing me something else. Just give me a minute. So it's a lifetime where the best that I can relate it to is a tabernacle. Do you know what a tabernacle is?
Yeah.
Okay. So okay, just give me a second. It's a tabernacle. There is something within this tabernacle. So we're going to retrieve it and give it back to you. So think about it like it was stored or taken and stored somewhere, and now we're opening it and taking back this aspect of you that was missing.
Yeah. I can feel a gain of energy in my whole body.
Yeah. Wow. That just sent a shiver through my whole body. Okay. So all right. Let's take a deep breath in and out and allow that to continue its work, and to again, we call in the golden light and ask everyone, take a deep breath and receive the healing energies. And for each one of you, if there was a retrieval of an aspect of yourself, that it be filled with golden light, made whole, to be brought into oneness with you, infusing you with love and light in every level of your being. Okay. How do you feel?
Wow. It made a lot of sense, and I wasn't looking for that. I try to communicate with my higher self and my intuition and my guides, but sometimes it's not clear. And I'm ready to make that shift. I am more than ready, and I'm so grateful for you you have done this work to help me regain this little piece, and I know it's just the beginning of it.
That was a big one.
Yeah.
See, but this is the soul work that we're talking about, is that this work goes way beyond our limitation belief stuff that we've been talking about for a long time, because it's actually the origins of the problem. And it always amazes me, like I said, it always amazes me, we are aware of the problem, but we don't know how to fix it. And that's because it's going to be on a level that you don't have access to yet. And that is not a statement of you're good, bad, or otherwise. It's just, that's my gift, is to be able to connect into that void energy, to be given access to things that somebody else might not be able to, right?
Yes.
So again, this is why all of us, as we bring ourselves into alignment and open our gifts, they're all different and they're used in a different way. And when you find that person that you resonate to and that can help you, now is the time to get that help, because we're at the end. We're not the end of where we're going, but we're at the end of our we had a lot of time kind of thing. It's kind of like, okay, well, we gotta get it on now, everybody.
Yeah.
Time for us to get ourselves in that alignment so that we have all of those aspects of ourselves working, so we can be the warriors that pull together and pull ourselves through this for as much of humanity as we can, and to create that heaven on earth. But that takes a huge effort. It's not done by a couple people. And so that's all of our work here. And it's why tonight, when I had the opportunity to do the show on my own, it was so funny. The fabulous person that I had scheduled for tonight told me the other day, like, oh my cat, I just can't do it. And at first I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? And then it was so funny. It dropped right in. It's like, Gabrielle, you do this all the time. Just run your own show. And I laughed. And I thought, you know what? It's great. I'm going to offer to do this work, because this is the stuff that helps all of us. The more we move for each other, the faster we get to that part where we're all standing energetically together, harmoniously, in divine alignment. And that's how we move this through, not just this virus, but anything that the other side of illusion is throwing at us. Does that make sense?
Yes. And that also answered the question, or just made me realize that we need to ask for help sometimes. Sometimes I'm so connected and trying to know intuitively what I need to do all the time, and I'm in this trying to understand everything. And it was a synchronicity to be listening to your program live. Usually I listen to the replay you do, and my kids are already they're not here, and it was perfect timing. And
you listen to yourself. Aren't you excited? This is what we're talking about, that divine intuition of, you know what, I'm gonna listen live instead of the way I normally do it. So that's I just love that. I love that, Vivian. Thank you for sharing that, because all of us, this is what reinforces that little voice inside where it says, oh, I knew I should have and I didn't, and oh, I wish I had. So everybody who's going to listen to this on the replay go, oh my God, I didn't know she was going to do that, right? And then they're going to go, I should have showed up. So when you get that urge, all of us, this is what we mean by doing what that little voice says, even if it doesn't seem convenient in the moment, because that is honestly what catapults our jumping forward faster. So we're not stuck back in this yucky part. I mean, I had shared with you all that I was going to share a story that just very recently happened. So I'll put you on hold, Vivian, or put you back on mute so you don't have to be quiet. Thank you. Thank you, sweetheart. So here's the story. So many of you know that my husband's been getting his PhD. That's funny, Tara. Okay, I'm going to tell. Tara writes, but if we can't go as deep as you do, there's no hope for the rest of us, XOXO. Yes, there is. I started out where you were. If you're going in alone, it's very possible to do it on your own. It's just going to take focus, and it's going to take a little bit longer, right? So when I started 20 years ago, I certainly wasn't doing what I am able to today. As I said, as I've reconnected my gifts, then I'm given more gifts. And one of the gifts that I have is that when I'm going to call it granted access. When I'm granted access to a person's soul in order to release something, the beauty of my gift is that it's almost like being given permission that I can use that gift that was needed to help somebody else heal. I'm then able to use it on others. So by people working with me, and I'm able to tap in and what tool I was given in order to help them heal, I'm then able to use it for others. So by me healing people and helping them to heal and connecting them to their own healing, I'm then gifted with new gifts. So it's kind of really fun and really neat to see what's available. It's pretty amazing. So yes, you can. It's going to take longer. If you are doing the work, you are looking for, basically I tell people this, just like we talked with Vivian, who knows that she has this block in her lower chakras and in her emotional body, but by instead asking not what's still there that needs to be fixed, right? Instead, we are connecting and asking, show me what needs to be fixed next. So it's taking our minds out of the fixing, okay? It's allowing that higher self connection, that soul connection, to lead you where you need to go versus what we think and rationalize is the problem. See, and that's where I see most people get stuck in their healing work, is that we think we have this idea, you know, like money, I don't have money, or I just lost my job, or my business just closed. The answer is not about the business that just closed. Somebody else asked me this earlier. It's not about where's the money coming next. It's going within and saying, okay, universe, show me the way. Show me the way to bring money in. Show me the way to feed my family. Show me the way to pay the mortgage. Provide for me the people and the opportunities. And I'm listening so that I can take that step and the next step and the next step to lead me to that place. It is generally not ever going to be the lottery win. Does that help? It's never going to be like, here's the one, boom, here's the answer. It's taking those little steps that are needed in order to get you where you need to go. But you have to be listening and connecting and asking to be shown. It does not just, boom, come, right? All right. So let's do one more person. I'm going to do Jeffrey because we haven't done a gentleman on our show yet. Are you there? This is good. Jeffrey,
thank
are you
you,
there?
Gabrielle. Yes,
Hi.
Gabrielle, thank you.
You're
I
welcome.
really appreciate the work you're doing, and I wanted to step forward here for myself and for other people. We had the themes of self-betrayal, fulfillment of soul purpose, standing in power, and accessing spiritual gifts. And I have a particular aspect of that I wanted to get help on if I could for myself and for the group. So over the last 15 years, I've spent tens of thousands of dollars and purchased spiritual courses or done spiritual trainings and not followed through with them, either by even opening the courses, attending the classes, or applying what I learned. And so there's a lot of stop, start, a lot of confusion, a lot of, being distracted, confused, getting lost, and self-doubt. So are you able to access for me and for the group what a really good practice would be to help us with our commitment and our will to follow through on those things that we know we should be doing and want to be doing, but somehow can't quite get it done? Thank you for your help.
Don't go anywhere, Jeffrey. Well, we're going to do like we've done all this time, right? Anne says, and to focus. Yes. So this is a common human ailment, though. It's not just healers, right? It's all of us who want to start something and we think about it and then we don't get to it. So for a lot of us, and this is what I hear, it's about integration of your human self with your multidimensional self, which means in this case, your human side is really, really busy. Integrating that human side with the multidimensional side will make it more harmonious, because it's like right now, I can see two separate sides of Jeffrey running around. This reminds me a lot of me. So I used to say that in my corporate life, there was Gabrielle corporate, and then there was Gabrielle spiritual. And so I kept them very separate, and I had time for the spiritual side and I had my time for my corporate side, right? But never shall the planes meet. And in this case, that's what we're talking about, is that merging that human side with that multidimensional side. And what's keeping them separate in the middle is what has to be healed. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So it's about bringing all aspects of yourself together and actually taking that, let's just call it a wall or divider, out so that you can merge these aspects of yourself. And when you do, you'll also be able to, hear and have discernment and such as well. That's in place, because right now it just seems like they're not merged together. So everyone, take that deep breath for me and be willing and able to receive and to join our energy together to assist each one of us here in the now and throughout all space and time. This is a really big one for everybody, because as humans, this is part of what feeds into separation. I am separated from my spirit self. I'm separated from my soul. I'm separated from God. It's like I hear, like, I'm just this little human over here and I've got to get much better over there, and it's not together. As a soulful being, this is what I'm hearing, Jeffrey, it's a kind of a message to you and to everybody, actually. We are soulful beings, which means we are filled with our soul. And as we merge, we are more so. It's allowing this merging to happen, that you will not lose your sovereignty by being merged, but rather you gain sovereignty by being merged. This is beautiful. Okay, so for you, Jeffrey, in particular, so you are showing me that you are walking down a long, desolate highway or hallway, however, either way. But you're not walking toward me, you're walking in the opposite direction. So you're showing me your back. What does that mean to you?
I'm turning my back on my purpose.
You've turned your back on God. That's not sent with judgment, please know. It means you've given up. Like you're trying to find your own way. I did say earlier we can backdoor things. Kind of, you got lost in the back door. Does that make sense? There's an energetic part of you that says, I know I can figure this out. I'm not liking how it's gone this way, so I'm going to go do it my own way. So it's all these things together, right? There's not one any more important than the other. But it's a desert, because that's what you've shown me. I mean, when the highway, do you know the highways in Arizona, like in Nevada and all those, like where it's just miles and miles and all you see are these big rocks that jut up and cactus every now and again.
Mm-hmm.
That's like the visual. So that's why the highway came. It started out as a hallway and then it became like this highway into no man's land kind of thing. So we want to change this designation of programming. That's what I hear. So that's interesting. It's like, this is the funniest visual. Do you know, were they 8-track tapes? Were those big cassette tapes? Remember those from the 70s?
Yeah.
So you're showing me this 8-track tape, like you put in this old programming, and they're showing it to me like an 8-track tape. So you put in this old program, we're just like, I'm going back to the old way. I'm just on my own, like a rogue almost. Do you understand? You're very funny on the energetic side. Or I should say, you do well laughing at yourself on the other side. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So, all right. We're going to take a deep breath. You are cracking me up. I just want you to know that, Jeffrey. See, I wish people could see what I see and what I get, because it's so funny sometimes. All right. Well, I don't know if you felt it, but my spinal cord just cracked. Like right in the middle of my back. All right. And now here goes another big release. I'm going to laugh and I'm going to love. Those are your words. That's your mantra. It's your new mantra. I'm going to laugh and I'm going to love. Okay, we've got you turned about halfway. Just give it another minute. We want you to full on face yourself. It's big stuff for everybody. Full on face yourself. Really big stuff. We're just going to give it another minute. Okay? Okay. How do you feel? Were you laughing?
Yes, it was. The sound you were making sounded like you were cracking the egg that was around my heart.
Good. See, you're laughing now. This is great. So you're taking it to heart now. See, that's what that says. Does that make sense?
Say again?
So you're taking it to heart now. You're laughing. Good for you.
Yes, my heart is laughing. That's true.
This is important. This is so important. I'm so happy for you. Truly, in my heart, so happy. All right, take a deep breath. It feels way lighter now. And you're facing me, so that's good. Okay? Remember your mantra, laugh and love. That's big. Nice stuff. Okay? Anything you want to add, or are you good?
I think you did see me, because I take myself way too seriously.
Well, I'm glad I convinced you. It's not, it's funny. Like I said, the higher selves crack me up a lot of the time. And you have the funniest higher self. I mean, I've connected with a lot, and you have a very funny higher self who is poking fun at you all the time. But in a loving way. It's really funny. And if you can feel that, that's where the laughter comes from, is to see your own self within you. You are just a really loving person. Your frustration is that it doesn't come out that way. And that's where that separation happens, right? So concentrating on love and laughter, or laugh and love, is that's what they said. So laugh and love, that's going to keep that wall from being built again, because that's what you intend. It's just not how it comes out. Does that make sense?
Partly. I think I'll just keep laughing and loving, and it will become more clear.
That's right. Don't think about it. Just do it. All right. Terrific. Fantastic. All right. I want to thank you, Jeffrey, for raising your hand. All right, everyone. I'm going to put Jeffrey back on mute. Okay, so so here we're going to finish up now with a blessing, and all of us joining our energy together to help move ourselves in the highest vibration, highest alignment of divine truth, divine trust, divine knowing and understanding of our own path, what will bring us what it is we need to learn for ourselves to release what is blocking our connection from our high heart through our higher mind to our soul, to be healed, to bring as many aspects of ourselves back to us, healing us on every level of our being, joining our light together throughout all time, space, creating this golden matrices of light to bring peace, love, joy, harmony, and for all to be in divine alignment with their own higher self, highest self, and soul, so that we may move quickly and easily through the illusion of darkness, struggle, and strife, releasing all that is triggered by this illusion, quickly and easily with the golden light of the highest vibration. For each of us to bring into our highest aspect of our energetic field this golden light, to surround us with it, to fill every cell of our being with it, and to feel it in our hearts, and from our hearts to send it out to the hearts of each and every being on this planet for their highest and best good. And for the coronavirus to be enveloped in this same high vibrational love, to transmute this virus, to be inert, and to be transmuted to the light. Thank you. So be it, so it is, so mote it be. And I thank you all for being here for this fantastic, fun evening. I would love to connect with you again like this, and we will do it again in the future. Look out for a new show I'm going to be launching in person, where we're going to do this work with a live audience. So I hope that when I announce it, you will be there, and I will be going to various cities around the country and the world. So if you're interested in having me come to your area, send me an email, info@gabriellespencer.com. And in the meantime, I will work with you this way, since this is what we're all doing anyway, which is hilarious, here on Zoom and in my various programs. I hope to work with you individually, collectively. I just love you, and thank you for being here. Once again, you can go out to uanow.net/private to get a session with me. There are limited sessions, but I'm doing that. So I'm excited about it, because it'll be much like today, but more specific exactly to you. And connect with me again, soulscape.tv. All seasons are out there and open, so you can go and get more healings and free gifts, etc. by going out to soulscape.tv. And we are in season 3 for the current season. Season 1 and 2 are out there as well and open. All right. Yes. So Liz, we'll see about Philadelphia, New Jersey area. Like I said, I'm putting together my schedule for the fall. So I would love to see you and do a live taping, because it's going to be my new TV show. So I'm super excited about it. Much love to you. Thank you, everyone, for your love and your joy and being here. See you next week. Mwah. Namaste.
Thank you for joining us on the Soulscape.tv show. Go to Soulscape.tv to access the many free gifts from our guests and for more great masterclasses and panelist discussions.